to work as a barista and how to become a host to the customers. I learned to be an employee and a manager to others. I was taught how to sew for 1 week, and I earned my first interview. I learned the basics of planting trees in the community. I had the best time learning how to make bracelets and earrings from scratch just for sale. It's a nice chance for opportunities.
Yeah. Questions?
3 most impactful people.
3 most impactful. Well, that would have to be Barushka, Lewis, and also Malcolm.
Why?
Because Lewis was the first one to show me how it was all done. Basically, on how to be a barista, and also just to work the Yoko and to introduce myself to the customers. And Barushka, she just introduced me to all the other different works that we did here. So that was a nice time for me, because I got to see all the different things we got to do and all the things we could learn. And as for Malcolm, because he just kept throwing opportunities at me pretty much every day, and always sent those messages for hiring jobs, just like having to send me to that business all the way out to the city for sewing jobs as well.
What's your most difficult moments?
Difficult moments? Well, that was when I had to do an interview with Action Retail. That was pretty much the most stressful moment of my life. That was the first real interview I ever had in an actual business.
You've done a number of workshops whilst being here. What do you think is the most important one, and what did you learn the most from?
Most important workshop? I guess you could say it was the workshop where we had to put all the colors in the chairs. It was my first workshop though, but honestly the more times we did that exercise, there were times I actually did discover, a few things about myself, like how I often reacted, how I always acted in different situations, and it was kind of a nice feeling to know myself a little more.
Do you feel you've changed through this process, and what major things have changed?
Basically in small ways. I have gotten so much more curious when I came here, because the second I walked in here I was like, I had no idea what I was doing, but I was just way too curious not to try. So I just figured I'm only a little different because I'm voluntarily just putting myself out there for once.
That's good. Was there anyone who you had a tension with, and how did you manage that tension?
Tension? Not that I can recall any tension with anyone. Pretty much I did get along with everyone. I was just, a little too quiet.
Okay, so let me rephrase that question. Who frustrated you the most, but you didn't give them feedback?
Let me think. There must have been someone. I don't know. I have no idea who that was. I'm sorry, I've only been here for a few months. I still can't remember any of their names. No, that's my fault.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't believe anyone here would ever make me so frustrated that I'd have to give feedback. I just knew everyone here was their own person, and I just handled it quietly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Looking back now in this moment where you couldn't remember anyone's name or couldn't put a face to the name Sean, do you regret not building more personal connections with people outside of just, coming here and just going to the sewing machine?
So, regret not making any connections. No, not particularly. I did meet a lot of people, and now I know that there are lots of things out there because of those people that I was introduced to, so no, I wouldn't have any regrets about it.
If there's something that was missing in this program for you, what was it that you would have liked to see more of?
What would I like to see more of? Honestly, sea salt pretty much surpassed anything I could have thought of, so no, there's nothing here that you guys didn't have that I wasn't curious for.
You had one? Was a hand?
What are your plans after sea salt?
My plans after sea salt, if all goes as planned, I'll probably have a driver's license this year, and I might just probably start getting a job in delivery. Also, maybe in the next few months, I actually am planning to go back to entering an online school, just so I can finally get my matric.
Nice.
Very cool.
Can you point 3 people and call out their names?
Okay, I can do that. Okay, 26. Shakira, Storm, and Stuhl.
Awesome. Cool. So I think from my side, one of the most incredible things is your timelessness. You're so aware of time, and you manage time very, very well. Especially you're one of the first people here every morning, and we know that. I mean, we've become accustomed to when we see you leaving, we're like, "Cool, guys, it's 4 o'clock." It's like we don't actually realize the time with that. In terms of that, how do you feel you did in terms of meeting deadlines for any tasks?
Meeting deadlines or tasks. Okay. Honestly, I think that was pretty normal and also pretty predictable of me. Honestly, whenever I just came here as early as I can and leave at the same time, I don't think it was just because it was being polite and anything. I just felt like I preferred it that way because everything was structured, it was stable, and basically it was in control.
So you know that about yourself now, that you like that structured, in control thing.
Yes.
So piggybacking onto that question, which is where I was hoping it would go, with the day when Sharon came in the first time and she brought you a whole lot of material and she came and said, I need 25 bags made by 2 days' time.
I specifically remember it was 14.
14 bags.
Yes.
14 bags, and I need it in 2 days' time. You had a moment of overwhelm.
Yes.
Talk us through that and how you changed from that overwhelm where you were stressed out to managing and exceeding the expectation.
Okay. In that moment, I was definitely stressed because I figured, how could I do so many bags in just 2 days? And since there was just one sewing machine and one me. But it's like, as I started planning everything out, and when I was in the moment, I just felt like that if I just follow my instincts and use what I learned on the sewing machine and just structured everything properly, then I could actually do it, and I could make it in time.
Forgetting one key part of that whole situation. There were 2 people two people who
Yes,
helped
there
you
were two people
on
who
that day
did.
or
Yeah.
those days. Who were those two people?
Is this because of the name thing or?
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Okay, let's see. What do I remember?
Oh yes, name. Point them up by name.
So it is the name thing. Okay, I definitely remember Shakira being there.
Okay.
And then there was one other. What was the short guy again?
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's
fine.
tough, bro.
No, that's fine. It's I think I think that tells me a lot of where the entire scope of where your journey that you've gone through. You are able to do a lot more than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah, that's true.
Even now, talking freely with the questions has been a lot more flowing than the speech that you prepared. And you actually talk so well when it comes naturally from the heart. So I want to almost encourage you when it comes to your final presentation that you do in front of an audience, you have what you're going to say, but talk. Talk from the heart about all of these experiences that you had. What were the best moments? Who were those people you connected from? What was that day like? Talk us through that difficult day where you went from chaos of being overwhelmed completely, almost like panic attack, to hey, I got this done and I actually met the deadline by like 6 hours. I was early and I could go home early. Those are the kind of things that a lot of the time you're creating your own block. And I want you to be aware of that because you actually are able to do so much more than you realize. And I think you've just proved that to everyone today as well.
And I have been able to discover that through these past few months at Sea Salt. I learned that I often contradict myself, both in positivity and negativity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I'm capable of so much more, but I always underestimate myself.
So we need to stop that and stop underestimating yourself and realize that you should just try. And that's what I want to encourage you to going forward. And then from there on, by the time you actually go to your graduation, I want you to know something about every single person here who's going to be there. Because the one area where I do feel there's still growth is connection with others. And I know that you like to have your space and you're being on your own, but in life, you build a lot through community. And again, through connections and community, so many opportunities come through. Just by you knowing me, talking to me, you've created opportunities, right? I've created those opportunities because I've met Sharon. Sharon had created opportunities because she knew someone who was at the trade school. And so on and so forth. I knew someone who knew someone who knew someone who knew someone, and that's where it's come through. Be careful of hiding away and not engaging with people. Because when you engage with people, you can really make great connections. Okay? One thing I wish you could make is a really good friend through Sea Salt. And I know that you're going to carry on. I think you're still going to come in over the next little while. So that was something he discussed with me. He would like to carry on beyond the graduation to keep that routine going. And I think through that time, I want to encourage you to try and reach out to more people within the program and try and find those connections and join in with those conversations beyond just what you have to do. Okay, ask about their lives and find out more about them.
To make more friends.
Okay.
I'm everyone's best friend.
But I think that's also important is that when something annoys you or bugs you, to be open and to address it with that person. I know you say, but often it's because you just will get along with it and you'll just go with whatever someone else says. So I want you to be able to go, actually, that doesn't suit me. No. And to say no to someone.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. We saw it here and there on the group happening, on the WhatsApp group, but it's easy to do it behind a screen. I want you to try and do it in person going forward. But I think overall, I've seen a massive growth in you. The fact that you're standing here talking, you told me in that first day you would probably not be able to do it. And you're here standing in front of a camera doing it to a whole lot of people online as well. And
Is this live?
yep.
Oh,
Good thing I told you only now, eh?
yes.
But it was really, Daniel, you've come a long way, and I can't wait to see that final speech in front of an audience and actually just hear what you have to say. Any last questions?
Say, bro, when are you gonna let me cut your hair, bro?
Well, sorry to mention this, but I actually have a haircut tomorrow.
Damn, alright. So it is, bro. So it is.
Awesome. Cool. That is Daniel Mayanda, everyone. Well done.
Hold on, bro.
Thanks.